Yeah, Big Troy was on before, but right now it is the Audible on a Wednesday. Good afternoon. I'm Kim Bokamper, sitting by my side, number 81. You know him, number 81 in your program, number 1 in your heart, OJ McDuffie. Juice, man, thanks for stopping by.
You got it, Bo. Anytime, man.
All right,
anytime.
You're watching the Audible here. If you're watching us on Periscope. You can go ahead and send questions in. Just hashtag the Audible through your Twitter account. You can also see us on a rebroadcast beginning tomorrow on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page, and you can see us on MiamiDolphins.com. And Juice, let's kind of, we haven't had you around here for a while. You've had a chance to sit back and watch this Dolphin football team this year. How do you put your finger on where they were at 1-4 to how they got to where they're at right now?
You know, I tell you, Bo, it was I watched a lot of training camp.
Yep.
I was out during training camp, and I saw the way Coach Gase worked and how Vance Joseph worked and
Yep.
Coach Christensen, how they work with the guys. And, you know, I was optimistic about how the seasons could go.
Yep.
But, you know, still when you have new coaching staff, a lot of new players, you know, the unknown, and, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But I knew I did. I knew I liked Coach Gase a lot.
Yep.
And I knew he'd right the ship and get some things going. I didn't know how well we'd be in this first year. But, man, after starting 1-4, what a great surprise. And, you know, just the way they're playing, I expect the team to win games now. You know, before you hope they win, now I expect the team to win games now.
It's funny, Juice, because I'm in all these games and I see the guys, and when I see them come on the field, I look at them and I go, these guys think they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a mindset that you got to – and look, you've been around this team as much as I have over the last decade and a half. There have been a lot of times where you look at guys' eyes walking down that field and you're going, they're just hoping to get through this game, you know?
Yeah, body language, a lot of things are tells for this team, you know, and they've done it a lot where they've, you know, they come out on the field and they don't expect to win.
Yeah.
You know, they're hoping they, you know, just hang in there and win it at the end. I think this team goes out there and they've been able to impose their will at times on teams. Teams that we were used to getting beat up on, that beat us up, you know, we've been able to go out there and do that against those guys. I mean, you look at the Jets, a couple wins against the Jets. Buffalo, that was the one that really surprised me, getting that win against Buffalo. The Ravens situation, we'll pass that. They've done,
you know, you have those games. Those games happen,
You do, man. But at the same time, I mean, you got a team that goes out there and they're physical.
Yep.
They're a smart team. They take shots. They make plays, and a very aggressive defense. It's been fun to watch.
Juice, you've been involved with the organization since you got drafted here. You've been around a lot. But you're also probably one of the biggest fans of this football team.
Man.
You got your seats, you got your whole, you got your game day program that you do and everything. As a fan, how has it been for you? Not forget about breaking things down and this and that. Just the experience of waiting so long for this football team to have a winning season and be 2 games away with the end of the season with a real legitimate shot of going to the playoffs. Every fan out there's got to be loving this.
Well, I tell you what, I think my fiance is the biggest fan because the Dolphin situation dictates my whole week. So win, lose, or draw, you know, that dictates my whole week. So the fact that, you know, we're winning, it's been a really good last few months. You know, I even got engaged in the middle of this win streak. You know, so it's nice, man. It's been really nice.
Would you decide to get married when Kiko Alonso took that?
That's exactly what I said. I got on bend the knee at that point.
I'm going now.
And so it's been really nice, you know, and piggyback that with my Penn State team having success. So it's been a really good football season for me as a fan of these teams, man. But just watching my Dolphins and watching the way they're playing, the way they're coming together. And we talked before the show started about the different guys that have stepped up and have had to step up. You know, and in NFL, you know, there's a lot of injuries that happen. And that next man up mentality is what the Dolphins have thrived on, and guys have stepped up and gotten it done.
Everybody that's watched this show on a regular basis, I've talked about this plenty of times, but the amazing thing to me is, you know, there are guys where guys have gone down, and you look at their backup and you go, oh, man, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah. But somehow, some way, those guys elevate their level of play. And I mean elevate their level of play where they become, and you look at Byron Maxwell, you look at Tony Lippett, you look at Spencer Pasinger, you look at Neville Hewitt, Mike Hall, you know, Anthony Steen and Keith Urbeck. Those guys, you know, those guys have, when they've had the opportunity to play, man, they've just risen to the occasion. And maybe you see it once, you know, every now and then from a guy, but to see the number of guys step in and fill the role for a starter that went down and play at the level they're playing, to me, I don't know that I've seen anything quite like that over and over and over and over again like there's been on this football team.
I think it goes back to training camp, Bo, and all the competition they created in training camp. And these guys went out there, you know, and they battled. You know, Tony Lippett, he was a deer in headlights at the beginning. Now look how comfortable he is in his defensive scheme and this ball hawking abilities. And, you know, the guys up front putting pressure on quarterbacks a lot of times, getting these opportunities to see Mike Hall get in there and play some middle linebacker, a guy that we thought would just play all special teams. But you have to be ready. You always have to be ready. You just never know when somebody's going to go down. I mean, it's it's been special, but it goes back to the coaches, training camp, the competition in training camp, and getting guys ready to play. These guys are all ready to play. Even when Matt had to step in the middle of the game a couple weeks ago, he came in there ready to play. Then he was ready for a start, this following week. So, I mean, you got to give the coaches a lot of credit, a lot of kudos, and you got to give the guys a lot of credit, the players, getting in that classroom, knowing the game plan, understanding, going out and executing.
All right, you guys are going to have to bear with us here for a few minutes. I gotta move the subject over. Tell us about your Nittany Lions, sir. Go to the Rose Bowl,
man.
Huh? How about that?
I'm a little upset.
I'm just that far from getting in the playoff hunt right there, man.
I know. I don't know if we're ready for the playoffs yet. So I think that it worked out good for my Nittanies, man.
Good situation for them.
A very young team, a great coach, and Coach James Franklin coming in. At the beginning of the season, they wanted his job.
Yeah.
They really did. They wanted to get rid of him, and I tell you what, they went on a roll as well. Big Saturday night game against Ohio State in that whiteout, and from there they've been rolling, man. And I just know that we have a very young team. Of the 85 scholarships, 2/3 of those kids have sophomore, freshman eligibility.
Yeah.
So I think the future is very bright. So I think right now this USC game in the Rose Bowl, that's the best test we could have right now. Another hot team in college football. We'll see where we stand, and it'll let us know if we should have been in the playoffs or we should be where we're at.
But Penn State's one of those teams, OJ, that you look at what they've done, where they've gotten to. You got all the scholarships back now. Mm-hmm. You can compete on an equal level with the rest of the teams in college football. And this game really is meaningful to Penn State from a recruiting standpoint and a lot of different things. And from a perception standpoint, USC probably the hottest team in college football right now. It feels most people wouldn't like to. Most of those teams that are in the playoffs wouldn't like to see USC in those playoffs because they're a very dangerous football team. But if Penn State can get past them going into next year for Penn State, that would be if Penn State can beat USC going into next season. That would be a huge feather in their cap. And you talk about all those young guys. You talk about confidence for those guys moving forward.
Yeah, it's big. It really is big. And they're going out there playing a home game. USC has a home game out there in Pasadena, and they're excited about their program and what's happened after Sark, left the program and then, the rebuild that they've been doing. They've always got, how many? 10, 12, 15 NFL players on their roster at any time. Yeah. So it's a big challenge. Yeah. And young guys, get out there early, get the nostalgia out of the way. Yeah. Don't be all excited about it and go out there and play and see where you stand up, see where you stack up. They have nothing to lose. Yep. They have nothing to lose. So we'll see what happens. And I know the coaches will have them ready because they're always ready to go in every game, and they go out there and battle. So it's a good test for us, but it's an important test.
It's going to be really one of the great bowl games, I think, really during this bowl season. Hey, you're watching the Audible. If you're watching us, you're watching on Periscope. If you have questions, we're going to start getting to them right now. You can send your questions. Just hashtag the Audible. You can see us on a rebroadcast starting tomorrow on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page and on MiamiDolphins.com. All right. at QKiller39, what do we need to do to win this game coming up, Juice? The Buffalo Bills, they're going to be physical. Yeah. Rex Ryan's kind of on the hot seat up there, but I expect the Buffalo Bills to come out and try to play that physical style of play along the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
Yeah, they will. And it's going to be nasty weather out there. Could be some possible rain out there. And those conditions are always tough to play in Buffalo. I remember catching punts and kickoffs, how windy it was out there at times. And, that's one of those things you have to endure and get that out of your mind.
Then there's all the blowhards up in the stands.
Oh, man. You got to deal with the fans. From 8 to 80, you're going to find some mean things coming out of some ladies and gentlemen in their mouths and things like that. But I tell you what, weather the storm early. It's a cliche, but you have to weather that storm early and find a way to win, late in that game. This team is a very confident team that's playing up in Buffalo. But if you let them hang in there, they will be. Stop Tyrod Taylor and his ability to move. And they're one of the best rushing teams in the game right now. Part of that's because of Tyrod Taylor. We've had a lot of trouble with mobile quarterbacks. So that's going to be the key, I think.
You look at what the Dolphins did, the last time they played them. That was a game that Ajayi went off for 214 yards. It's back-to-back. His second of back-to-back 200-yard games. The Bills only rushed for 67 yards in that football game. So the Dolphins controlled the time of possession. They controlled the clock, controlled everything, controlled the field position, everything. Kenny Stills, 5 catches for 100 yards. Jarvis, I think, had 5 for 78 yards. So the Dolphins did a lot of good things. If they can just carry that over up there, I think that'll help. But they've got to stop their running game with Sean McCoy. Mm-hmm. I think he's already got 1,300 yards, 12-something or whatever it is, and 250 yards for Tyrod Taylor rushing. So I think stopping the running game is going to be the concern. At Hollywood 80, do you think we can re-sign Kenny Stills to a long-term contract? Juice, I don't see why they wouldn't want to re-sign him to a long-term contract. He really has become a leader in that room, in that receiver room. He's kind of the guy that keeps all those personalities. You got Devontae, who's kind of a quiet, laid-back guy. Mm-hmm. You got Jarvis, who's Jarvis. You got the rookie and Leonte Carew. And Kenny Stills is a guy that's kind of taken over the leadership role in there, but he's also done it on the football field. Now, he's given them a legitimate deep threat that can go after the football and catch it. But he's also a guy that doesn't mind sticking his nose in there. Some big blocks down the field, big blocks in the running game, big blocks to help Jarvis at times to get down the field. So Kenny's really done a great job, and I would hope that they would get in there and try to – I would hope this year in a free agency it's more about signing our guys, Andre Branch, Kenny Stills – those kind of guys that have done the job for you. Keep your guys in-house. Let the other guys keep their free agents and fill in where you need to.
Absolutely. And Deion Sims, another guy I think we would make sure we take care of. But Kenny Stills has just been phenomenal this year. Yeah. You go back to that first game against Seattle with the drop, and then, another drop. But ever since then, man, it's been like a phenomenal job he's going out there doing. And he gives Jarvis that extra, that guy on the other side. And then you got Devontae Parker on the other side. It gives him another opportunity. Yeah. But Kenny, that home run ability that he has and that deep threat ability he has. And for Ryan, before he got hurt, and for Matt to give him those opportunities down the field. You get these one-on-ones. If you know how it is, Bo. One-on-one, and guys, no matter how tight the coverage is, you got to give these receivers a chance. And giving these chances, Kenny's been taking advantage of, man. So I think signing him it's very important. You want to keep that core of guys. You talk about Carew. I saw him at Rutgers beat up on my Penn State Nittany line. That's another great receiver that we have coming along, down the line. But the top three guys we have, I put our top three against any three in the league right now.
And you look at Kenny. You got to give Kenny a lot of credit for. He dropped a huge ball in Seattle, and a lot of guys might have gone in the tank at that point. He fought back. Not only did he fight back, but the coaching staff continued to believe in him. They continued to feed him, continued to throw the ball downfield, and it's paid off in big ways. So hopefully it can pay off for him by getting a nice new contract. I'd love to see him around for a while.
Exactly really right. Don't let our guys go somewhere. He's becoming a little superstar now. Don't let him go somewhere else and become a bigger star.
No, keep him right here and let him grow here. At Fins Up One, Bo, did your boy get a new haircut? Trey get touched up in there? Because Trey, what do you call that? Trey got that line, what do you call that?
Edged up?
Huh? It looked like a jigsaw puzzle. He didn't edge it up? It was like weaving around. It was like driving in a mountain road. It was kind of like supposed to be a straight line. It was all up and down and sideways. Even had a barber call in and say, hey, Trey, come on in.
Hey, do it for free, right?
I'll tighten you up, man. Come on in, I'll tighten you up.
Like they do kids before school
start, right? But I'm looking at Trey right now. Still traveling that winding road, man. Still traveling that winding road.
Man, just don't care. Come on, now.
You're almost where I'm almost a point juice where I'm about to go. I'm about to go noggin free.
He keeps messing up like that. He must just cut it all off like me, man. I mean, come on. You gotta embrace that hairline.
I'm trying to be like LeBron. I don't have no hair now. Maybe next year I can have twice as much hair.
You got that much money. You can bring it in as much as you want, right?
All right. OJ, who's your favorite player on the Dolphins right now?
Oh, man, I can't. It's hard to say.
Yeah, man.
I love Juice, of course. Cam Wake, obviously, being a Penn Stater. Yeah. I love Mike Hall. All my Penn State buddies, but I'm a big Juice fan. Yeah. I really am. Jarvis Landry is coming here. He's brought the juice, like his nickname says, and he brings the energy too. And he and Kenny together, man, I think they get that whole offense juiced up because we got a lot of guys on offense that aren't really fiery, except for those two, and I think it helps out a lot.
Yeah, my favorite guy has become Brandon Albert.
Man, how about BA?
BA, man, BA's a tough. Old school.
What he's going through, man.
What he's gone through just keeps coming back. And when he was out with that wrist, I mean, they almost had to tie him down to the bench to keep him from going out the field.
Right, so, I know from the knee injury a couple years. I mean, they said that was almost devastating, career-ending for a lot of people. But BA would not be denied.
Man, he's my guy out there. At Nachirio, the core of this team is there now. They're a couple of steps away from becoming a contender. I can't argue with that. Right. In the thing I kind of keep falling back on. You lose Rashad Jones. You lose I can't think the other linebacker.
Cole Messi.
You lose Cole Messi. It was a big loss, but he's had injury problems. But you lose these guys, and you continue to play. When Rashad comes back and he's healthy again, when he's ready to play, and you get these guys going, I think you get a couple of draft picks. You get a couple guys coming, because I think the depth has gotten better on this football team just from having guys that were backups play so many snaps, get so much experience that when they come back next year. Look, we've talked about a lot early in the season is, man, there's no depth in the secondary. Right. Well, you know what? You come back next year with Xavier coming back, Byron and Tony Lippett and McCain and all. Yep. You can have a lot of depth back there, and depth that's played and experience, and so I think they're in a really good position moving forward when it comes to personnel.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, that secondary was a question mark. And you've got a lot of guys you're talking about there getting some very important playing time right now. And you talk about getting Rashad back, and you're also going to have East Caduce back there, and you got Michael Thomas back there. Those guys are getting valuable snaps as well. And in this defense, Vance Joseph's defense has been aggressive. Yep. Guys have been not blowing assignments like they had at the beginning a little bit. Guys aren't just running free on this team, and they're getting that for the quarterback. So I think that the time that these other guys are getting, the linebacker position in that secondary, it's been huge. And our defensive line, I mean, you see these guys, man. They're starting to play lights out and putting a lot of pressure on people. And it's going to be imperative this week, man. If they can stop the run, it's going to be a tough game for both.
Yeah, that's it. No question about it. You're watching the Audible here on Periscope. If you are watching on Periscope, I think it's the only way right now for you to see us. You can watch us, or you can send your questions in. Just hashtag the Audible via Twitter. You can see us on a rebroadcast tomorrow on the Miami Dolphins Facebook page and on MiamiDolphins.com. Let me see, where do we move out here? Not Torino, are you? Here we go. At Bull 66, how do you feel about these linebackers against Shady McCoy? Well, you brought that up. Yeah. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Between the defensive front and those linebackers, they've got to find a way to stop this running game. And certainly McCoy, well over 1,000 yards. I think he had 160, whatever he had last week in the game. He's playing very well. And Tyrod Taylor, man, Tyrod's well over 500 yards, and he's, they're not a big passing football team. They're going to try to run the ball with Shady and with Tyrod Taylor. So these linebackers do have to play well. Kiko's out there playing on one hand, with one arm because of that thumb, and so it's tough for him to wrap up. But he's doing whatever he can to get in the way. And look, the other guys are going to have to step up and help out a little bit. So
Shady's tough to deal with, though. He really is tough to deal with. When he came here, that first week, he was a little banged up. I think he had a hamstring or a groin injury or something going. But now he's back to 100% or as much to 100% as you can be at this time of year. And he's gonna be really tough to deal with. And you get out there with conditions and it's a little slippery and things like that. He's a guy that can make you miss an open space, and they're gonna rely on him a lot in the passing game as well as the run game.
Juice, coldest game you ever played in with the Dolphins?
Oh, man, I think it was a New England game. Yeah. At one time, remember we had to go back out after we thought we won, and we had to go back out there. And, I mean, the field, you had to wear it was a grass field, but you had to wear
Yeah, I remember who was the offensive tackle, Donnelly?
Yeah, Donnelly,
standing out there. He had
his wrap on. The defense had to put their pads back on, and we were already dressed.
That was one of the most surreal things because I remember I was in setting up to do a live post-game show. They ran us out of the log because we're sitting there and all of a sudden go, hey, game's back on. Game's back on. Guys are in the shower.
That's right.
Guys are already completely
dressed. We're trying to get the hell out of there.
That's
right, man. It's cold.
So we go running out of there, and there's nobody in the stands.
Nobody.
You're sitting there. There's nobody in the stands. One play to play.
A failed Hail Mary. Yeah, they threw that duck up there. Even had a backup quarterback in there.
Zach was out there. His ankles weren't taped or anything.
Imagine that. That is something happens in that situation.
Yeah, that was bizarre. And one of the funniest things about that was the great Jim Mandich was in the locker doing his post-game show, and when they said everyone out, he tried to get out, opened up a door and went in, and it was a broom closet. So they're on the radio, and he's in the closet with the microphone going, guys, I'm stuck in a broom closet here. I don't know what's going on. It was just, it was
cold. It was entertaining, but it was cold as hell.
That was a chilly day. So, it might be chilly and wet up at Buffalo this week, so we'll see how these guys get through it. At King Edlin, can Jay Ajayi cap off his season with some strong performances in these next two games? Look, I think if Jay can get over 100 yards in this game, the Dolphins win that football game.
I think that's the mark you want to look for.
Yeah.
You want to get him to 100 yards against both of these teams. If we can get to 100 yards rushing for him, and maybe get to 130 as a team, I think that's huge for us. That'll open up the passing game, give some opportunities. But, if they shut the run down, and if they stack that box and we can't throw it to the outside, it's going to be tough. But he's a marked man now.
Yeah.
He can't just sneak up on people anymore. They're stacking that box.
No,
and Darren should throw it outside. And, he's been able to, get the tough yards, but he's going to have to continue. And when you go in there and you have inclement weather and it's a tough situation on the road, you got to be able to pound into there. And I love what Coach Gates does. He doesn't abandon the run.
No,
he'll keep pounding it.
It's fourth quarter. He'll still still driving it in there, and he believes in that. So it's a good thing. But yeah, look, Jay's running hard.
Yes,
he's still breaking tackles. He just having. I mean, they're putting so many people to the line of scrimmage.
When he like to have I like to get to that second level without touching anybody.
Well, I'm watching
sometimes.
the Jets game. I'm standing there. They got 8 guys every play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, this is an over the top ball game, and sure enough,
right.
So look, Buffalo's going to try to do the same thing, and then. It's the same thing. Then up to Matt Moore to get it over the top and get that passing game going. Then it'll soften up for the running game. At Pretty Fly Guy, do you think Moore being a gunslinger with Buffalo? Do you think Moore being a gunslinger will Buffalo still stack the box? I think they will. I think each and everybody now, after watching what the Dolphins have did when J.J. was running at or getting the big numbers. I'm not saying he's running any different now than he was then. They can't allow him to do that.
Well,
so you're going to put as many guys up there as you need.
They're going to make Matt beat you every day.
Yes.
That run game is the way you win games, especially on the road. Run game and defense. So what do? You stack that box and make us be aerial. I think they want to see if Matt can go out there and have another big game. Can he be AFC Player of the Week again on the offensive side and dare him to go out there and make take those opportunities. Buffalo's a tough place to throw and catch it.
Yeah.
I promise you that. So it's a lot easier to run the ball. So they're going to definitely stack the box and see if we can still continue to go downfield.
Juice, this is your first time here, so I'm gonna need a little help from here. I'm not sure if this is my man Leon, my producer back there, Leon, he's kind of on the hot seat back there. I don't know if he's just making names up now just to make me look like an idiot. At Hingle McCringleberry.
Whoa.
You think that's a real name, or you
I don't think so. I think that's
the Neon there?
Yeah, I think that's
back there?
behind the glass.
Yeah.
Hey.
See, look at it. Who makes up a name like that? My man makes a name like that. Hingle McCringleberry.
Oh, my goodness.
You could use a haircut too, Leon, not for nothing, but just saying. Should Jarvis be wary of any revenge hits because of what happened last game? Look, Jarvis got beef with everybody every game.
He does, man. You know what? If a player wants to play outside, the rules of the game and hurt their team, that's on them. Yeah. I think as a receiver, you're always worried about a hit.
Yeah.
They see it on film, even other teams, everybody saw that hit against Buffalo in that game, which is a good hit when I played, Bo. Look, that's a good hit when I played.
You know what, Juice? I watched that play a ton of times. For me, it was a running play.
Yep.
You're blocking a guy. If you don't keep your head in a swivel, that's your own problem.
You know what, man? And that's the thing about wide receiver. We have support in that situation. We have to block support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any safety that's coming down there thinking he's going to go scot-free and make a tackle, that's on that safety to protect himself. Like boxing.
Yeah,
you got to protect yourself at all times, man.
It's not like a pass where the guy's hung out to dry. He's just out there and hey, you're coming up to make a play, and that's the way it goes.
I couldn't believe that he would leave, especially when Jarvis is out there. Jarvis is a blocker. He's a heck of a blocker, so you better be ready.
Jarvis gets into his share of beefs, but most of his beefs are usually defending someone else that's getting it.
That's right.
He feels like someone took a cheap. He feels like every time one of his guys get tackled, he thinks it's a cheap shot. So Jarvis after everybody out there.
That's right.
At Scooby Fins Up, who do you trust at center if we make the playoffs, Steen or Urbick? Steen's a young guy, hasn't played a lot of games, rookie out of Alabama. Urbick's been around, he's played a number of games. I think Anthony Steen did a very good job early on when Mike was out.
Right.
Was doing a pretty good job, and then he had a couple games where just things kind of went sideways for him. I think all the protections, all the things he had to do, kind of got caught up in that. And then last week they put Urbick in, and I think Urbick played pretty well for him last week.
Yeah.
So
Bo, I think a lot of times rookies do hit a wall.
Yeah.
He wasn't in there at the beginning, but at the same time, though, it's still a lot of games for these guys to play.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to digest as a center. Centers are the quarterback of that offensive line. So I think down the stretch, when you're trying to make a playoff push and late in the season, you really do look for veteran leadership.
Yeah.
And so maybe Urbick is the right guy. And Steen to be ready to go, though, no matter what.
Yeah, I think he's ready to go. And I talked to some guys, and they said, he did some good things out there. So I think Urbick right now will be the guy, and you'll see how it goes along there. And I got game New Jersey. Do you guys hate playing in Buffalo?
Yeah, I do.
I don't like Buffalo. I just don't like Buffalo.
That's what it is. That's what it is, but I tell you what. It's the best atmosphere you can find in college football. Pro football.
Once you get in the stadium, I love it. It's a small stadium. Yep. The fans are right on top of you. They're loud. They're vocal. And they're crazy. I remember one of the games we played in Buffalo, and there's always a fight. Mm-hmm. Always a fight in Buffalo.
I love it.
And you know where their bench was, and there was a fight over in that corner over to that side. And it was a big melee in that corner. And all of a sudden, I see a guy come over the wall and land in the field. Security jumps him, and they're working him over. Next thing I know, I look at him, and he's all, got a bloody nose, and his eyes puffed up, and he's handcuffed, and they take his shoes had come off, and they stuffed him down his pants. And so they've got him, and his arms are up, they're getting him on the tiptoes, right? And he's walking behind our bench, and I'm looking and go, man, that guy's in a world of trouble. He gets behind our bench, and he goes, F the Dolphins.
still. I
got to have a lot more respect. I said, that guy had to get his last shot. He's going to jail. He's bloody. He's banged up. Yeah. His shoes are stuffed down his pants, but he still had to get that last shot. And I respect,
man. I remember the Brian Cox and Gardner game, man, with the fight, the salute that Brian gave the fans on the way out the stadium, and those guys came into the locker room afterwards wanting to fight. And it's always been a nasty situation there. But you know what, though, Bo? There are always a lot of Dolphins in that stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And in that stadium, I mean, we are represented very well. We're represented well on the road all the time.
Let me tell you what, Juice.
And it's been impressive.
This is one of the things this year that I've noticed. And, we get a bad rap down here. The Dolphins get a bad rap down here because, it's the other team's fans. Mm-hmm. The Jets fans come down. The New England fans come down, and they take over the stadium. Well, I'll tell you what, Monday night in New York, Saturday night in New York.
Oh, man.
Man, I'll tell you what, the Dolphins, you couldn't even hear the Jet fans.
That takeover, man.
And it's been like that all year long. San Diego was the same way. L.A., there was a great way. I mean, I got to give these fans credit. I mean, they follow this team around as well as any team in the National Football League. And but it's a crazy place up in Buffalo. But I don't mind being in a crazy place.
How about getting the wind coming out of there? Win out. That's the best bus ride.
Yeah.
I mean, your bus is going to get rocked, egged, shook, kicked, spit on.
And you know how it is. You know how it is when you come out at this time of year. They got bonfire. People just light their garbage on fire in that parking lot, right? They got bonfires out there.
Right.
You look around and there's no one around. There's like fires just going up and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy situation. At Justin Ovation, what do you think Parker has to add to take his next step?
Well, I think his health is the key, man.
Yeah.
Taking care of himself. Because he's a dynamic player. He can go out there and make plays. I think him being healthy and counting on and believing he can stay healthy is the key for him. Because he's a really good football player. Yeah. He really is. And he's a good guy to have opposite Kenny and have Jarvis inside either one of those guys, and take your shots with him. But I think his health is the most key for him to trust that he's going to be healthy and be able to go out there and make plays because he's a dynamic player.
Yeah, I think the other thing too, Juice, he's got to realize how good he is. Yeah. And I've always said his personality, he's an introvert.
He is.
He's not going to talk up. He's a quiet guy, carries himself that way. And I think he plays a lot like his personality. Right. He kind of just hangs back and this and that. If he can get a little of that Jarvis in him and find out, I think the kid is a phenomenal play and doesn't know. I don't think he realizes how good he is or how good he can.
I'd like for the team to take a shot to him down the field early in games.
Yes,
bro. Get him involved early and don't wait too late. You see that single high safety, you got one-on-ones. Pick him out one time and let him get an opportunity to high point a ball. It could be great coverage. He could run by somebody, but give him an opportunity to get involved early, and I think that'll keep him involved the rest of the game.
And Egyptian King 00, can Adam Gase provide different running schemes for Ajayi? I don't think so. They're not going to change their running game. No. They're not going to do anything different. It just comes down to, offensive line, getting that extra block, maybe getting that second level, guys making sure on the backside that no one's coming across and picking things up. But I don't have enough, look, the problem hasn't been the Dolphins' scheme against the run. It's just team. Look, if a team wants to commit to stopping the running game by putting 8, 9 guys in the box, sometimes selling out and putting 10 guys up there, there's not a whole lot you can do except go over the top. And I think that's more the case, that teams have decided we're not going to let them run on us, let them beat us the other way. Than that. And I think that's more the case than scheme or anything else that goes along.
There'll be a couple different plays that they'll run that they've seen be successful against Buffalo this year, and they'll take those opportunities. But I think more than anything, like you said, Bo, I mean, 8 guys in the box, you can't block everybody. Mm-hmm. So he comes down to either Jay making somebody miss or a guy missing a tackle. Yeah. Or something like that. But 8 guys in the box, and that's why you got to, you get a single high safety. You got to audible and throw the ball.
Philip Hernandez, what's Maxwell's injury status? Didn't practice today. Didn't practice yesterday. He's got that ankle injury, and he'll probably be. My guess would be he'll be a game time decision. At D Dalton, I'm devastated. Landry, no Pro Ball. Pro Bowl. I'm a little surprised by that too. Speaking of Pro Bowl, Cameron Wake, Ndamukong Suh, both going to the Pro Bowl. We congratulate them. But you look at guys like Ajayi, like Kiko, like Jarvis. There's a few other guys in this team that, and I'm surprised that we don't have a handful of those guys as alternates.
I think there's still an opportunity. for him to get there. That first vote is always the toughest vote. I think with Amari Cooper and T.Y., I think those guys got in, and they had a heck of a season. And I think Juice will still get in. Considering a lot of these guys, some guys might not want to go. Yep. Some guys can be into the playoffs, all kinds of different scenarios. But he's not out of it yet. And that's kind of how he got in last year too. So
no doubt. And then look, he's certainly deserving of it, no question. El Chapo Jr. always getting in on the show. Hey OJ, who kept Dan's 400th touchdown ball?
Danny did. And Danny went into that game. He was at 398, and he said, "Hey, my second touchdown. I need the football." So going in, he knew he was going to throw at least two. It was against the Saints, so I caught 399. I caught 400, and then he rushed me. Right. He came and got it from me. He didn't wait. He didn't wait for me to give it to him. No, I thought he was coming to give me a hug. He said, "Give me the rock, man." And so Danny's got 400, and then I got 401 that game too. So it was a heck of a day for both of them.
The great thing about Danny is, it's not like, hey, if I throw my second touchdown, when I throw my second touchdown, I want the ball.
Right. That's right. Because he struggled with number one. That first touchdown is still that. Did he ever get that one from Joe?
No, never.
No, still doesn't have that one.
Joe claims he doesn't know where it is. Everyone points to Bobby Monica.
Right, of course. That's not a bad person to point at right there, I tell you.
Everyone points to him, the equipment manager at the time. He's got the ball. At Miami Dolphins 1926, Bo, we've seemed to stop their top tier backs this year pretty well. Yeah, we have done a good job. And so I think, look, one thing I know, I've watched this team, and when they gear up for something, they usually do well against it. So I'm expecting them to do well against this Bills rushing attack. Look, they knew they could run in the first game. As I told you, 67 yards rushing in game one for the Buffalo Bills against the Dolphins. So they've had success then, and certainly they're looking at those tapes and probably will continue to try to do the same thing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the key. I mean, that's what Buffalo does, and that's what they want to do in this game. You said it best early, they don't throw it very well. And so they're going to try to pound it, trying to find a way to run it down our throats and control the clock and win the game that way, win it ugly. And that's what Rex Ryan would love to do.
Another one of my everyday comes in every day at 38, double D lover, my friend. D. 38, double D lover. Loves the big ones. Bo, do you believe the D should, look at that, 38 double D, and he talks about the D. Bo, do you believe the D should employ the same scheme as before in stopping the run? Yeah, I think you go ahead and do what you did against Buffalo. You had so much success the first time around. Go back, do the same thing, and see. Look, to me, run defense is as much about effort and desire as it is about schemes and whatnot.
Well, I think what's going to be key to their run game too, Bo, is how Tyrod plays. Because if we don't have lane assignments and our guys aren't disciplined in their rush assignments, he's going to
kill you
and get big yards. Third and 15, you see him escape. We're in some type of two-man, our backs to him, and he's going to escape out of there. So we just got to make sure we contain him too, because his run numbers are part of what they're doing too in terms of 160 or whatever they're averaging a game. So, but I tell you, contain McCoy, try to contain Tyrod. It's going to be
I would assume the Dolphins have talked a lot about their game against San Francisco and Colin Kaepernick and the success that Colin had running the football, both in design runs and in scrambles. And I'm sure that's something they've either talked a lot about or looked at the tape and said, hey, we need to prepare as if we're playing against this guy again.
Hard to emulate that in practice, too. Yes. It's really hard. You probably take a DB or a wide receiver or somebody, let them scramble around.
As a quarterback, they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have a guy on our roster that can do that.
Look.
Exactly right.
Finns Alex, what will the key to defeating the Bills be this Saturday? Well, my key is stopping their running game, Juice.
That's it.
And then on the flip side, I would say the team that wins the battle of the rushing attack is probably going to win this football game.
Absolutely, man. Keep pounding it and see what happens. 1-2 yard at a time, and then one of them's going to pop. And that's what happened the first time we played them. It's going to pop eventually. So just keep pounding the rock.
All right, at Chivda 7, is Kiko Alonso better from his hamstring injury? Where's Kiko at here? Let me check him on the injury list. He was limited, hamstring hand. I think Kiko will be good. I think Kiko will be fine to go.
I hope so, man. He's needed in the middle, man. I mean, this would be a good one for him to go back and play in, too. Playing in Buffalo again, it'd be good for him.
I just got a note here. I have to go get my hair cut. So does Trey. I would agree with that. Hey, you guys want me to pay for that haircut? You guys want me to pay for those haircuts? No, I ain't gonna. No, I ain't gonna. Juice, been a pleasure, my
man.
man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you having me in, man.
We look forward to having you
man.
back again sometimes. Great
Big
stuff,
game on Saturday, man. Looking forward to it.
Congratulations on on being engaged.
Thank
and,
you. About time I grew up,
congratulations on your Dolphins, man.
That's right, man.
Yeah, congratulations on your Dolphins. All right, we'll be back on Friday. I think we're early Friday. I want to say 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock Friday. You can catch us then. Until then, stay easy, and we'll see you then.